When music becomes a mirror, Jennifer Garner's quietly powerful reflection on Ben Affleck, Beyoncé, and emotional endurance. Some memories don't arrive loudly. They drift in through a melody a chorus on repeat, a song that fills a room again and again until it becomes part of the atmosphere, and sometimes, part of the emotional weight we carry. During a recent relaxed appearance at an intimate bookstore event, Jennifer Garner shared one of those memories. Not with bitterness, not with drama, but with the calm clarity of someone who has already done the emotional work. Smiling gently, she posed a question to the audience, the kind that feels casual at first, then slowly lands deeper. Have you ever lived with someone who plays the same song on repeat? The room laughed, parents nodded, partners exchanged looks, and then Garner added something unexpected. She had survived it. That single line carried more meaning than it appeared to on the surface. She wasn't talking about music alone, she was talking about emotional endurance, the quiet kind. Garner reflected on a time years ago, when she was supporting Ben Affleck during the intense filming period of The Town. Long days, high pressure, creative obsession, and in the background one constant presence. Beyoncé's music playing again and again, filling the shared space. In relationships, especially during demanding seasons, people cope in different ways. Some retreat inward. Others latch onto routines, familiar sounds, familiar rhythms, as a way to regulate stress. Psychologists often describe this as emotional self-soothing, a subconscious attempt to create control when everything else feels uncertain. What Garner described wasn't irritation. It wasn't mockery. It was recognition. She didn't frame the memory as a complaint. Instead, she framed it as survival and growth. That distinction matters. In modern adult relationships, especially those lived under public pressure, emotional boundaries aren't always dramatic confrontations. Sometimes they're quiet decisions. Choosing patience, choosing empathy, choosing to let another person cope in their own imperfect way, while also learning where your limits live. For many mothers and women listening, that moment likely felt familiar. Supporting a partner while raising children, standing steady while someone else is spiraling creatively or emotionally. Absorbing the background noise, literal and emotional, without making it the center of the story. Garner's tone suggested distance, but also respect. Time had softened the edges. What remained was perspective. And that's where the story becomes bigger than celebrity. Music, psychologists say, often becomes a proxy for unspoken emotion. Repetition can signal comfort, anxiety, or even hope. When someone plays the same song endlessly, it's rarely about the artist. It's about what the song allows them to feel or avoid feeling. Garner didn't diagnose it, she didn't analyze it publicly, she simply acknowledged it and moved on. That restraint is its own kind of maturity. Today, both Garner and Affleck exist in different chapters of adulthood. Co-parenting, redefined boundaries, separate emotional ecosystems. What once felt overwhelming now reads as a memory, not a wound, and perhaps that's the quiet lesson here. Sometimes survival doesn't look like escape. It looks like understanding what no longer belongs to you. It looks like remembering, without reopening. As the laughter faded in that bookstore, what lingered wasn't Beyoncé's music. It was the recognition that relationships aren't just about love or loss. They're about the emotional environments we share, and the ones we eventually learn to leave behind. So here's the real question this story leaves us with. When you look back on the moments that once tested your patience, do you see irritation or growth?